Hey people on YouTube land, this is Zach with Bible Fanatics, and today I want to bring a video just showing some of the Bibles that I most commonly use and then how well they've held up. Some of these will be review copies, some of them will be gifts, and the other one will be one that I have purchased. I want to kind of just show the longevity of it so you can know what you're getting, and just to show you some of the copies that review people have sent me, or companies have sent me, and we can see how long those have held up as well. Kind of doing this video based off of one Brother Aaron did, where he showed his Bibles that he used and how well they've stood up. So the first one I want to show you guys is the Thompson chain. I sent this one from Kirkbride. This is bonded leather. It's a nice bonded leather for what they do. It's held up pretty well as far as the cover. I've had this one for almost a year. You can see the gold on the spine is held up well. And that's mainly because of this, the indention, the spine caving in on itself like all Thompsons do. So that means this is not going across the table when I'm using it, so that way the gold is still on there. And then also I like, as far as construction and why this is held up, they use an actual heavy vinyl liner instead of a cheap paper liner. And then they also run tape along the seam here. And then these two pages are glued together, which adds extra strength to your Bible. So I really like that Thompson did that. I think that was a great thing they did, even for a bonded leather cover. And it's been holding up really well. So I've been using this as my main Bible for a while, and I love the font of the Thompson. Love everything about it. I love the topics, the references, the helps on the back. It's all really cool. And then just to show, I've been reading in Psalms, so I have my bookmarker here. I've been going through that in my devotions, and then I've been taking notes, as you can see there. And that was with the 01 micron pen, and that actually turned out really well, so it didn't really bleed through too much. Of course, there's going to be show through on the white space, but it's actually done pretty well. And then you can see there was no bleed through on the other page. Also, I've been highlighting in it, and there's some more notes I've taken. The highlight has done really well. The paper holds up really well to it. So you can see there. I want to flip it over, and that's with no text on the back side. So that's still not bad at all. Then I highlighted also in, I believe it was 1 Timothy. Oh, no. Yeah, 1 Timothy. So there's that. You flip it over, and that's really pretty good. So it doesn't mess up the text. You can still read it really well. And the green doesn't bleed through too bad. And I am using a new camera, so I do apologize if some of this is a little weird. But the helps on the back are really awesome. I've been using those more frequently. Of course, you have like a Strong's Concordance layout with all the topical references in the Bible. Then you have some helps in the back, some outlines of books, character studies, Bible reading plans, how to memorize the Bible, archaeological supplement, and then you have a concordance and a glossary of archaic words. But where this Bible is starting to fail is, if you can see up here, this is starting to separate, the maps are starting to separate from the text block. And in the back as well, you see it starting to pull away. So this is really a glue issue, and I think it has to do with the fact that it is bonded leather and the fact that the Thompson Bible is so thick. As you can see how this angles and then comes out, it's almost like each half of the book can only support so much weight. And so like this part of the Bible can only support until here, and that's why it stops and makes a break there. And so it adds all this extra pressure, and I think it's just tearing this apart, which, you know, that's just a glue, so that's fine. But it's going to start stressing the stitching, and if that starts going, then I'm going to really have to do something about it, either have it rebound or or do something myself. But it's held up well. I really like it. There's a lot of cardstock pages in here as well to take notes. Been using this pretty consistently in preaching, teaching, and then just my devotions. And love the font of the Thompson. Think it's a great layout of a Bible. And just get you a close-up of the font. So, highly recommend this one. If you want this Bible, you can go to Kirkbride's website. I do recommend it. They sell it in genuine leather. This is the bonded leather. This will go for around $70. Or you can go to your local Christian bookstore and they might have a copy of that as well. So highly recommend this one. Second one is one that I bought. This is the Westminster Reference Bible from Trinitarian Bible Society. I've had this for 4 or 5 months, but I do use it constantly. And you can see it has slightly raised hubs here on the side. They're mainly tooled in, but they do rise above the cover. So they are slightly raised hubs. The gold still looks great. The calfskin is Mariva calfskin. It's really soft, really flexible. They also use a heavy vinyl liner and use the tape to give this extra support. Some cosmetic things with the Westminster that is standard with all of them. You really can't avoid it unless you put this on it at the beginning. Is the wrinkling of the page here. This will always happen unless you put a sticky note or some type of tape back there. Other than that, I really haven't had a problem with this Bible. The font is really good. It's really clear and crisp. And try to get this to focus. But this has been really a great Bible. Tons of references, over 200,000 references. It's got 4 ribbons. The ribbons have held up well. They're really useful. I have highlighted and marked in this Bible as well. So you can see there's some highlighting, taking some notes, even here and here, and you can see that the ghosting on it's really not that bad. But the highlighting has been really, the paper has taken as well. This paper is amazing. I actually spilled coffee on this and I thought it was done for. You can see this gilding right there is kind of messed up. You can see the watermarks. That's from the coffee that I spilled all over the pages, and I thought, oh man, it's over. But it actually didn't even bleed in to the paper. The paper just stood up to it. I mean, it went into the paper, but it didn't ruin it at all. It's still soft and flexible. So I was really blown away by the quality of the paper. Also, if we go to Galatians, I started to transfer my highlights there. And when you flip the page, you can't even notice the highlights. You can kind of see it there, but I mean, this is with no text. And so when you do have text on the backside, I mean, you can hardly even notice that I highlighted this. So the paper in this is really amazing. This has been holding up really well. I don't have any problems like the Thompson does. You can see this back page again has the crinkle problem. So be aware of that if you do get one. And again, sticky note or tape will help that. But you can see this is not splitting like the Thompson was. And then in the back here as well, that's been holding in pretty well. So, constant use, 4 or 5 months. This Bible has been barely phased. This is for the coffee spill I had with it. But other than that, it's held up really well. The paper is amazing in this. And so I've had this one for 4 to 5 months, have the Thompson for almost a year. Both of those have held up really well. The Thompson's starting to come apart a little bit in the back, but I might have that rebound later. I don't know. Don't know yet. Think about it. Next one was a gift given to me by brother Eric 1111. Eric Henderson, many of you guys know him on YouTube. He gifted me this 120, and I absolutely love this Bible. I've had this actually for over a year now. He gave this to me in April of last year. And so this is just a little over a year. It's iron calfskin. See, I even have all my notes and everything in it. This is a 120 from Church Bible Publishers. And you can see this is edge lined with imitation leather and then tabbed into the block. So as far as holding up, this Bible has no flaws at all. The paper's still in there. The stitching's still holding up well. The cover looks great. There's been really no wear on the cover. It's broken in and soft. The ribbons have held up really, really well. I have taken notes in this. I haven't highlighted in this one quite yet. You can see I've taken notes there and underline. And the show through is not too bad. You can see there, you can see a little bit of show through, but not too much. So this is held up really well. And it lays really flat. It's broken in really nicely. So I can even get to the maps and it's still laying flat there. This doesn't have the same problem either. This is holding all together. And in the back here, that's holding together. I have a travel log of where I bring this Bible. Sermon ideas in the back. And so this one has held up really well. Of course, Church Bible Publishers makes quality Bibles. So if you get a Church Bible Publisher Bible, you're getting high quality, something that's definitely going to last you down the road if you take care of it. And you're not just trying to purposely beat it up, but actually treat it like it should be treated. This is an amazing Bible. It just gets so soft. You can see that folds right up. The leather is still intact. The stitching's still all intact. And this has been over a year of use. And I use this pretty constant, so that this has been held up really well. Then the most recent one, probably out of all of these, is the Ruckman Reference Bible that I got, the wide margin. And this thing has been amazing for me as far as using it. I have no complaints with this. You can see this is lambskin. The ribs are absolutely beautiful. The gold gilding is still intact. No sign of wearing at all. And you can just see the grain on that lambskin. Looks very nice. The perimeter stitching all done very well. Has 2 ribbon markers. Those have not started to fray, so those are still in really good shape. The leather started folding down like that because mainly I had it in a Bible cover, and so that cover was kind of pressing these edges down, but I think it gives it a nice look. So this is imitation leather lined as well, and then it's got a tab into the block, so it's got the extra strength. I put my highlighting system in this Bible, plus some of my family's favorite verses. And the cardstock's been holding up well in this one. You can see where they didn't stitch it all the way, so this will start to come apart there, but that's because there's no stitching, which is totally fine. And then you got the presentation page and the title page. And this one has, yeah, just held up amazing. You can see it just lays flat with that lambskin binding. And you can even, push that down. And that just lays flat from the beginning. It's an awesome Bible, wide margin. Paper's very, very nice. This is one of my favorite paper as far as the Bible goes. Besides maybe the Thompson and the Westminster, those are way up there too. But I've taken a lot of notes in this one and highlighted a lot. If you've seen this in other videos, but I'll go through and show you. So you can see, and this is when I was using too much of the highlighter. So some of the paper got wavy, but that was not because of the quality of the paper, it's because I was using too much highlighter. So you can't really see it unless it's in natural sunlight, so you can't even really tell this is wavy. I can see it in person, but the camera's not picking up too much. But so I have notes all in the column there. Flip that over. You can see the ghosting. It's really not that bad. I even wrote over stuff here. But you can still read that just fine. And then there was no bleed through on the other side of the page. You can write stuff in the center column because Ruckman doesn't have too many center column references, so I use that to write my references. If I have a note on the text, I use that to write out in the margin. And the highlighting is really just awesome. Once I finally learned not to use too much of the highlighter. Galatians I've highlighted a lot, and the paper's handled it really well. The best highlighting I did in this, I think, was in Thessalonians. So let me go there. This, I didn't use too much of the highlighter, and it didn't make the paper wavy or anything, and it looks really nice, so I was really happy with this. You can see I got a marker stain on that from teaching class, so I kind of messed that up, but it was not a big deal. Then I have some note paper in the back, wrote some notes there. But again, the map section here in the back where it would start to tear apart is held up really well. And there's no sign of wear or tear there. And in the back, this has held up really well as well. You can see there. And of course, this one is edge lined on both sides. There's the last map. So you can see that's held up really well. And got some notes and stuff stuffed in the Bible like you should if you're using it. And this one's really awesome. I got this one for Christmas from my parents, so it was unexpected. It was an awesome gift. Love this one. The reason why I don't use this one as much anymore, I still take notes in it, and if I want to write a lot of notes, I'll write my Ruckman Reference Bible. But it's so big, it's carry. So I wanted to switch to one of these, and I started using this one again a lot, and I really like the cameo text. It's one of my favorite text of all time. But for whatever reason, man, I've used the Westminster a lot too, but the Thompson has been just drawing me back. And it's not even necessarily because I use the chain references all the time. I like the layout after using it for a while. And I love the font in the Thompson. I think the font looks amazing. It's an older style font, there's no doubt about that. So if you like newer fonts, you might not like it. But I got a good block from Kirkbride. I know some people have complained about that, but mine's been really good. It doesn't have too much ghosting. The red in it is actually really well done. So I know that's been a complaint lately for some people. But you can see when it's just black on black text, this is done really nice. And so I've been enjoying just reading and studying out of it. I do use the references from time to time, and especially when there's like prophecy or scripture fulfilled, he'll normally give the reference there, or he'll give parallel passages in the Gospels, which are really helpful for study. But I've used this a lot, wrote notes in it, underlined, highlighted, and it's taken everything I've thrown at it so far. And I'll probably have this one rebound, but for bonded leather, I didn't expect it to last super long. But I knew that the text block was good, so that's why I wanted it, because I know they might sew in their Bibles, and so that's held up really well. So I'm thinking about having a rebound. I don't know quite yet. We'll see what the financials look like, because I know it takes a lot of money to have it rebound. Westminster's held up really well. CBP's held up really well in Ruckman. So no complaints as far as these Bibles. These all have held up well. If you're interested in any of these, I can almost personally guarantee you that they will last, unless you just have a freak accident, or you are just one of those people that you just whip the fire out of your Bibles and you can't help it, which is good. You know, if that's the way you use it, that's fine. But I think these will last you a long time, even if you are that type of person. Just the way they're built, the paper quality. If you're a person who highlights and marks in their Bible, these are all great Bibles to have. So hopefully this video is a help to you, just to show you how well they've held up so far. So again, just real quick, the Thompson, I've had it for a year. I give it a B+ to A- rating as far as how it's held up. The Westminster, I got to give it A+ just for the paper quality and the leather. It's just been a blessing to use that Bible. Really no flaws at all and from that Bible. CBP, I've had this for over a year, and this thing just keeps getting softer, keeps getting more amazing with time. It still has the art gilt on it, as you can see, and the gold gilding